Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic crossbred as always, and also pulled a 4 Grievance Oracle card and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where you folks to be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright. We have Uranus, and Uranus is in Taurus, which is your 6th house of work, daily routines, and health. We have Aries, which is your 5th house, romance, creativity, children, and of course we'll have Aries season starting toward the end of March. And we have 10th house of career and social status. For you guys, that's Virgo, and there will be a full moon in Virgo around the middle of March, so it makes sense to see that pop up. Alright, so we'll keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have 2 of Cups. So this is actually Cancer energy here, and for you guys, that's your 8th house. So you see this playing out a couple different ways. On the one hand, yes, this could point to you guys possibly starting a new connection with someone on a more romantic scale, but this could even be around a business partnership that you're trying to set up as well. So I can see that going either way. But yeah, it looks like this will be a meeting of the minds either way, whether it is in a romantic sense or more in like a business type of sense. Because that's what I get with this energy a lot too. We see the 2 people face to face, both holding their cups forward, right? And to me, we see that symbol that could point to communication too. So yeah, I feel like this is saying that it will feel like a meeting of the minds and like the 2 of you are on the same page. Alright, in the challenge or obstacle position, we have the 9 of Swords in reverse. So this would normally be a good thing to see come out in the reverse position, but for that to show up as a challenge, I feel like it's saying you're not quite there yet, right? So you could still be in a bit of a cycle where you might still be overthinking starting this connection up a lot. So you might not be in the position to physically come forward to start the connection yet, but I feel like it has been on your mind quite a bit. You just feel like the timing might not have been right for you, as of right now anyway. In the foundation position, we have the 7 of Cups. So this is actually Scorpio energy, and for you guys, that is your 12th house. So yeah, could just be saying that this might be why you don't feel comfortable yet, right? You might not feel like you could fully trust the situation just yet. So there could be a lot of replaying it in your mind, like, okay, weighing the pros and the cons, all that kinds of stuff, right? So, and I mean, to be fair, we barely just wrapped up a Venus retrograde cycle and a Mercury retrograde cycle, so things are still getting back into shape as we roll into March in that regard. So I'll just be saying that if you weren't seeing things clearly, that's perfectly normal given the astrological landscape that we had to deal with lately. But yeah, that could be why you've been holding back, because you're like, I'm not quite sure I'm seeing the situation too clearly. Alright, in the past position, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is Virgo energy here, and we did see the 10th house energy come up for you guys. But yeah, so it could just be saying that maybe that was where your focus was in the past, right? So especially if this is a romantic partnership of some kind, that could have been the drawback for you. Like in the past, you were just so focused on your career and social status that you're like, I don't really know if I have the time to dedicate to a romantic connection. And depending on the surrounding cards, I even point out to people how one way I see the artwork in this card come out is we see that older man in the corner there with the dogs, right? And then it's like he's looking at those 2 people. And it's easy to connect that as, oh, those are probably his grandchildren or whatever, right? His children, grandchildren. But sometimes I see this as someone who might have just focused all of their energy on career, and then they look back in hindsight like, what if, right? Like, what if I had gone down that path and explored a romantic connection instead of just putting so much energy into career? So for some of you, could just be saying that that could be the thought process that you're reevaluating too, right? Like, okay, maybe you're at that turning point, where like, do I still want to just fully dedicate my time to my career, or should I also make some room for romantic connection as well? All right. In the present position, we have the Queen of Wands, Aries energy, and the Knight of Cups, Pisces energy. So interesting to see these 2 cards come up together, because those are basically the 2 main energies of March. We have Pisces season and then Aries toward the end. But what I see with this primarily is saying that I feel like on the surface you're presenting that cool, calm, and collected image, but I feel like underneath it all, there is a part of you that really does want to move forward. So we could see, again, that's still a bit of the push-pull, right? Where you're like, okay, thinking about making a move, right? We didn't see any artwork there. She's holding a flower, so it's like embracing that, okay, do I want to soften up a little bit, right? As opposed to just the fiery energy, or do I just want to stay in my position? But yeah, I feel like for some of you, you are just feeling that nudge, but you're just not quite ready to make the move yet. And like I said, in a way, it does feel like it is leaning more toward a romantic connection, but it could just be a business partnership that you're trying to create as well. All right. In the near future position, we have the Eight of Swords. So similar energy to the Nine of Swords and what we were talking about there. It looks like you're just not quite ready to move forward yet. And like I said, if that's the case, we're still clearing up some retrograde energy, even though they're technically over. We have the shadow periods that are still wrapping up. So it could just be one of those things that once that's fully clear, and you have a lot of energy going through Aquarius in March as well, which is your third house communication. So that could actually make you feel a bit more open in that regard. So I feel like as we actually start to move through March, you will start to feel this energy lift quite a bit, but you might not be there just yet. All right. In the position of your influence on a situation, we have the Ace of Wands and the Ten of Cups. So we see more Pisces energy here. So it could just be as simple as a timeline, right? Saying that you might get an idea in your head to say, okay, toward the end of Pisces season, so around mid-March, basically, I'm finally going to make my move, right? See if this person's interested. And again, like I said, it definitely is, I would say maybe 70% romantic, but I could still see a 30% in there where this could just be more of a business partnership where you present the vision to someone like, hey, this is what I see in the long term. Would you like to partner up? Could be one of those things. But again, the primary thing I see here with those ace energies, we always see the hand coming out of a cloud, which to me represents an idea of something as opposed to actually taking action toward it. So it's still, for the majority of you, it's something in the idea stage, but you might not be actually moving forward toward it just yet. All right. In the environment position, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is actually the court card for Sagittarius, which is you guys. So it could just be saying, on the one hand, maybe this is you. You're feeling more like yourselves, or at least you will be as we start to progress through March, and that could give you that confidence, that more assertive energy, right, that you might need for the situation. But for others of you, it could actually just be saying that you might be dealing with someone in your environment who has that energy. And maybe that's where a bit of your reluctance to move into the connection with them is coming from, right? Because you might feel like they move a little bit too fast for you, which could be interesting, right? Where you're like, okay, yeah, I'm interested in this person, but they might want to move a little faster than I would like to move, right? So that could be part of the holdup for you. So I could really see that going either way. But either way, what I see with this more than anything is that there will be more clarity as we progress through March. And you'll be feeling more confident in yourself and confident in the decision that you would make, whichever one it might be. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Lovers reversed and the Eight of Wands reversed. So this is Sagittarius energy here, and then this is the Major Arcana card for Gemini, which is your house of relationships. So to see them both come up in reverse, I'm going to assume that they're probably more of a fear of yours, which is to say, you might fear that you'd make the wrong decision, right? Or that you do come forward to this person and it's not reciprocated. So I feel like that could just be a bit of a fear you guys have. I always point out to people with this particular position in the spread, it's just hopes or fears, meaning more that it's going to show what's on your mind as opposed to what might actually play out. So doesn't mean that that's how it would play out, but I feel like that could be what the holdup is for you guys. That part of you are like, okay, what if I come forward and they're not reciprocating it, right? Or if it doesn't work out, things along those lines. All right, and in the outcome position, we have Justice reversed, which is Libra energy, and the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, now if we think about this energy in the upright, given that Libra is the natural house of relationships, could just be saying that if you've gone through a stretch where you just haven't felt like the timing was right? You felt like, I don't know if this would be a good connection for me to be in, or just be in a connection in general, right? Because like we said, it looks like you might have had a heavy focus on your careers. With this coming up in the reverse, immediately followed by the Wheel of Fortune, I would actually view it as more of a positive, saying that, you might feel like, okay, maybe you will be in more of a position to get into a relationship. So yeah, This looks like a thing, especially given that this is Major Arcana 2, that you've probably been in that energy for quite some time. So I feel like for the majority of you, that could be part of it, right? Like you might have just been on your independent path for so long that it could be a bit tricky for you to actually, you might just feel a little bit socially awkward when it comes to actually pursuing a connection. So I feel like that's what that's pointing to primarily there. And with that Wheel of Fortune energy, I feel like that's saying that as we progress through the month, you'll feel like the timing is right. For some of you, it could possibly take until the Libra full moon during Aries season in April, but yeah, I think that's for a much smaller percentage of you. It looks like the majority of you will be actually ready to move this month. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Devil. So this is Capricorn energy here. And on the one hand, this could just be saying that that might have been the theme, right? Similar to what I was talking about with the Ten of Pentacles in the past position, where your focus might have just been so heavily on your finances and your work lives that you didn't really have much energy to give to a romantic relationship. And for whatever reason, you might have reached a certain level of success within your career now to maybe you feel like, okay, yeah, I might have a little more room for that in my life at this time, which is actually a pretty responsible way to handle things, but that's what I see with that. Now, and for others of you, another way this could be playing out too, though, could just be saying if that's been your past with relationships, right? Where you feel like, oh, it's just been toxic connections, right? That could be why you might fear this lovers in reverse, which is to say, if you've had a track record where you feel like you've picked the wrong people, right? And you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm truly over that cycle, so you could be a bit gun shy in that regard. That could be what's showing up here in the bottom of the deck to show you that that could be a theme repeating, but for the majority of you, I feel like you'll be fine. Like I said, if anything, you might actually be dealing with another fire sign. That's one way I could see that playing out. But the only thing is, it looks like you might even feel like for some of you, this person might move a little faster than you're wanting to at this time, if anything, as opposed to you feeling like they're actually going to reject you. So that's how I see with that. All right, so moving on to your 4 Grievance card. You have Always Do Your Best. Okay, there we go. It says surrender and let go of the past. All right, so let's see what it has here. Okay, it says whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully alive in a moment. Letting go of the past means you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. So yeah, that's a pretty good message there as far as for those of you where, like I said, if maybe that's the main fear holding you back is like this fear of, oh, in the past I've gone into these connections and they ended up being toxic karmic type things. I feel like that's saying if that is the case, you've gone through the growth from those connections to where you shouldn't necessarily feel like you're going to repeat those cycles, but hopefully that resonated. We'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle card adds to the mix. So you guys have Blessed. There's the artwork, and the number is 22. So let's see what it says. Okay, it says, something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected, grace that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. The Oracle's message. There are moments in life when, out of the blue, it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you, and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now. Pretty positive message there. That one sentence about, oh, deep down you didn't deserve any of it always kind of throws me for a loop, but I don't necessarily feel that's the case. But if anything, it could just be one of those things where, like I said, if you have a bit more of a pessimistic outlook on situations, and something positive does come your way, there could be a little bit of doubt around that, but hopefully that resonated. All right, the relationship message says you are moving toward a deepening of intimacy in a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and Spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. So that was really interesting there where it said, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and Spirit. Because, like I mentioned here, this actually is the Sagittarius card in the environment. So for some of you, this might not even be you and another person. This could be you trying to balance the masculine and feminine sides within yourselves, actually. So that actually throws an interesting spin on it. And then that could be, again, though, possibly still leading you to the realization that maybe you do want a relationship, right? Like maybe if you've been operating a bit too heavily out of your masculine side, you had that more focus on career, money, 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 right? But now you might be like, well, maybe I feel like I'm neglecting that other side of me. So interesting message there. It might not resonate for all of you, but hopefully it resonated with someone. All right, the prosperity message says unexpected windfalls and good fortune are come your way now. You're in a phase where any difficulties or obstacles that have stymied your success seem to disappear on their own. Be ready to receive. The windows of opportunity will open wide. Accept the blessings given to you now and don't forget to share them. So that's an interesting message there too, because for some of you that could even possibly be part of the shift, right? Because maybe if you really do still have that heavy focus on your finances with that Wheel of Fortune energy there, maybe it's saying that something comes your way that gives you a boost in that area to where you don't feel like you need to work as hard as you have in the past, right? So maybe you get like a new client base all of a sudden that picks up business for you, or maybe you win a little money or something like that. So hope that resonated too. But lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. So this is your mudra here. It's the Kilaka mudra. The keyword for it is union. And all right, let's see. There's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says tonifies the water element in the body, improves the function of the kidneys, bladder, and sexual glands, fosters a sense of emotional safety and comfort around intimacy and sexuality. It can also be used as a devotional gesture to express or evoke the union of masculine Shiva and feminine Shakti. Yeah, interesting, because that does tie into what we were just talking about there, possibly even just balancing those energies within yourself. So if that does sound like a mood or anything to be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.